beautiful people. In today's video, we're going to learn how to sew a female pants or a female trouser. Yes, this is actually a request from some of you on this channel, and I'm ready to take that request. For this, I think I'll be using about 2 yards of fabric, and it's actually a stretchy one. So this is the fabric I'm going to be using here. I'm using 2 yards and it's a bit stretchy. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make a pants, a trouser from this pattern. This same pants pattern, you can use it for your palazzo pants, you can use it for culottes, you can use it for whatever you want to do. So this tutorial is going to be informative, and I would love you to watch the very end so that you learn everything that I'm going to tell you in this tutorial. So let us get started, guys. Alright, so the measurements we'll be needing for this pattern drafting, you'll need your waist measurement, you need your hip measurement, you need your thigh measurement, you need your knee measurement, you need your ankle measurement. All these are the circumference. You're taking the circumference round this measurement. And also, make sure that the measurements are taken firmly around the body. Do not leave space when you're taking your measurements. Be it stretchy or non-stretchy fabric, just take the measurements firmly around the body, not tightly. Don't squeeze the person, or no, don't squeeze yourself, or no, just take it firmly round the body. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to start drafting our front pattern. So I have two papers here. Let's start with the front. Okay, so I'm going to measure the length of my trouser. That's the first thing you need to do for your pattern. And my trouser length is actually 36 inches, but I'll be adding 2 inches for hem at the bottom. So I'm going to make it 38 inches. After taking the measurement round the body, you also need to take the measurements vertically. So from your waist, measure to where your hip gets to. From there, measure to your knee. From there, measure to your ankle. So it's all those measurements will still be taken from the waist vertically down. So from your waist to where your hip line is, from your waist to where your knee is, from your waist to where your ankle is. So those are the measurements I'm going to be squaring across this pattern. Okay, so my waist is going to be starting from the top of this pattern. Then my hip line is coming down 9 inches. So take your measurements, but it's usually between 8 and 9 inches. So I'm taking 9 inches for my hip line. My crotch depth is actually 2.5 inches below the hip line. So if this is my hip line, come down to 2.5 inches here and measure. Then from this waist, come back to your waist and take the measurement for your knee. My knee line is about 23 inches, so I'm coming here to measure that 23 inches. Then the final one is my ankle, which is at the end of the paper. So now I'm going to start taking my measurements on this pattern. Alright, so we're going to start our measurements from the hip line. So I'll come to my hip line and take my hip measurements divided by 4. My hip measurement is 40 inches, so I'm going to do 40 divided by 4. 40 divided by 4 is 10 inches. So I'm going to mark 10 inches here. Then add 0.5 to my 10 inches. Just add that 0.5 there. So that's what I have for my hip line. Then for my crotch, I'm going to measure my thigh measurement divided by 2. So my thigh is 24 inches. So I'm going to do 24 divided by 2. 24 divided by 2 is 12 inches. So I'm going to mark my 12 inch there. Then I'm going to come measure what I have here on my hip line, which is 10.5. Go to the top of my pattern and mark that 10.5 there. Now from that 10.5, go in by ½ inch on that waistline, because we want a slanted waist. We don't want our waist to be we don't want it a straight waist. So we will start our measurement now from this slanted waist. Take your waist measurement and divide it by 4. My waist is 32. 32 divided by 4 is 8 inches. So I'll come here and mark 8 inches from that point. I'm not going to be putting a dart on this pattern, and I'm not going to be putting a pocket on this pattern. So if you want to see how to put darts and pockets in a pants trousers, please go and watch this video of the pants I'm wearing. Everything there would explain what to do better. Okay, so now that we've done the top part, we're going to come to the knee. Now on your knee, I'm going to go in by 1.25 inch because our knee is not usually straight, so go in by 1.25 inches here. And from there I'm going to measure my knee circumference. My knee circumference is 18, so I'll do 18 divided by 2, which is 9. So I'll mark 9 inches there. So that same 1.25 I went in by at the hip, at this point, I'm going to come down here too and go in by 1.25 as well at the ankle. So from there I'll take my ankle circumference. My ankle circumference is 12, and I'll do 12 divided by 2, which is 6 inches. So I'll mark my 6 inches here. If your fabric is not stretchy, do not use 12 for your ankle. The standard for a non-stretchy fabric at the ankle should be 13 or 14, so that you can put your leg and bring it out. But if it's stretchy, you can use 12 because it's going to stretch and you can put your leg and bring it out. So now I'm going to join all those points together. So remember, do not use your curve ruler like this, you use your curve ruler like this. Alright, so we have finished drafting the front of this pattern. If you wanted to do just a plain pant, a female pant or a female trouser, this is all you need to do. Just place it on your fabric and cut it out. But I want to show you how to go about doing a palazzo if you want to do a palazzo. For that, you know that palazzo is like a bell bottom pant. It could be stopping at the knee. There are different varieties of palazzos. You can cut it on the knee like so, then gather the remaining fullness like what you can see in this picture over here, or you can bell it out like a bell bottom pants. So it's the bell bottom pants on I want to show you. But if you want to do the one that you are either attaching a flail to the bottom or a gathered or a pleat to the from the knee, all you need to do is cut on this knee, then put your flail or your gathers or your pleats there. Since that one has been sorted out, let's look at how to do the bell bottom palazzo pants. I'm going to put extra paper to this other side because we're going to be belling out both ends. The bell is going to be starting from the knee. What we're going to do now is to come to this side of the knee and add whatever attachments you want to. So me, I'll be using a 7 inches to flare out. You can do whatever you want to depending on the amount of fabric you have. So I'm going to be using 7 inches, and I'll just be joining it from this knee up onto that point. Let me use another marker to show that. Then you come out and do the same 7 inches there. So you're measuring from this point here and you're going 7 inches outwards. So it's stopping here for me. So I'm going to be joining still from the same point up onto that 7-inch mark. Yeah? So this is my pattern. Okay, quickly guys, you also need to slope your pants in. So you need to go down by ½ inch on the front and slope that front in on your waistline. Let me cut the front out. Okay, so this is how the palazzo for the bell bottom pants is going to be. You can see how it looks. Yeah, you can also add additional fabric to the bottom so that it looks so good. But if you want to do a pant, just fold these parts in, fold that attachment in like so, so it can serve two purposes. You see why I actually love making patterns? So you see, so you can actually fold that in for your straight pants, and when you want to do your bell, open it up, and if you want to do a knee, a short, measure where you want to get to and fold this other part too in, you know, so you fold it in like so and do your shorts, whatever you want to do. This pants look, I'm just giving you this date. So to help support, please do subscribe. Yeah, you see that I'm just giving you everything freely. So help by subscribing, help by liking, help by commenting. Yeah, so I really appreciate you guys. Let's go and do the back of this pattern. So for the back, I'm going to be using the straight pant sloper to do my back. Then if I want to still do the palazzo, I would open it up and attach that. But let's start with the straight pant because I'm just going to trace all this out. But before then, you need to go down by 2 inches for your back. I already explained why you do this, because of your bum. If you carry your trouser up, any pants you have, and look at it, you see that the back and the front is not the same. It's not the same at the waistline. Yeah, so I'm going down by 2 inches. You do that according to your measurement. So I will now shift this to the edge of my paper like so, then trace everything out. So I've traced that part out. Then I'm going to be drawing my straight line. Your waist for the back is going to start up from here. So from this point, I'm coming out by 1.5 inch. So this is my 1.5 inch here. On my hip line, I'm going to come out by 2.25 inches, which is here, 2.25 here. And on my crotch line, I'm coming out by 3 inches, which is here. On my knee line here, which is here, let me draw the line across. On the knee line, I'm going to come out by 2 inches here. And on the ankle, I'm coming out by 2 inches as well. So now I just need to join up all those lines. So what I'm going to do at the crotch line is to come down by 0.25 inches because of the bum, yeah, so that it doesn't go into the bum there. So I'll redraw that crotch line. Okay, so this is what we have now. Remember to draw this line. So this is how the back pant slope looks like. Now for me to finish off, I want to quickly do the palazzo. The bell bottoms at the bottom of this pattern. So I'm going to add paper here so that I can fly it out. So I'm going to come to the bottom of the fabric and measure the same 7 inches I did for the front. So my 7 inch is stopping just here. And I'm going to join it from there up onto my knee. Then also I'll come to this other side as well and measure 7 inches. My 7 inches is stopping here. And I'm also going to join it to my knee. Okay, now I will just cut everything out. This is my front. front. Like I said, if you want to do a straight pant, fold this flare in. Do the same for the back as well. You fold it in for the straight pants, and for this one, fold it in as well. So this would be my pant slope for the back for a straight pants. And if I want to do a palazzo, I can open it up. In all the seam allowances you need for both the front and the back, for joining it, for your zipper, for everything, has already been infused in the pattern. So we'll just go right ahead to cut it on our fabric and start sewing it up. Alright guys, so I have cut my front on my fabric. Yeah, so you can see how my front is. I cut 2 pieces of my front, 2 pieces of my back. Like I said, we already have our seam allowance. I also added a little just to extend it so that when I wear heels, or I would love the effect of the palazzo to actually cover my shoes. That's why I extended it by 2 inches. But if you are doing a straight pant sloper, you do not need to add any extra again. So I would start joining my patterns together. So here is my front. I'm going to sew it by the crotch like so here. So because this fabric is stretchy, I'm going to sew it like more than half an inch, like 3/4 inches, to take care of the stretch there. I'll do the same for the back, like 3/4 inches, to take care of the stretch as well. Okay, so we have joined the 2 crotches together. I've joined the crotch for the front and the crotch for the back. Now the next thing to do is to place the front on the back like so. And sew it by this crotch here. So I'm going to sew this inseam. I'll sew it from one end. I'll start from one of this crotch, so I'll place it on my machine like this and sew all the way to the bottom on one end. Then I'll go and do the same from here and all the way to the bottom. I'm also going to match these outer seams together, so I'll match it like so and sew it close together. So let's do that quickly. Okay guys, we are through with this project. Yeah, so you see, it was a very easy one. All you just had to do was get the pattern correctly, get the pattern right, and you have the perfect fit. So I went ahead to put a band in my pants, and let me turn it inside out so we can see what's going on the inside. So I went ahead to hold my crotch a little more, just about half an inch, especially on this side where your coochie is. So I held it more there. You see, it comes narrow and it goes all the way, maybe like half an inch extra, because this fabric stretches. And on the side seams, I held 1 inch. 1 inch. This is a very stretchy fabric, so you need to hold it more. If it was Ankara or cotton or linen or any of those non-stretchy fabric, you just use ½ inch sewing allowance all through. Even at the inseam, I had to hold it about 3/4 inches because of the stretchy nature of this fabric. And on the crotch, it was still ½ inch sewing or 3/4 inch. So that is that for this pant. It's actually a very easy pant, and I love this pant. I promise to wear this pant every single day. I'm so excited. So guys, leave your suggestions as usual on anything else you'd love to see me do. Yeah, I'll be willing and more than happy to try that out as well. As usual, give me a huge thumbs up on this video. Also, subscribe if you're yet to. Yes, you know you're getting valuable content on this channel. Subscribe if you're yet to. So, till we see you in our next tutorial, stay safe, God bless, bye! On this channel, please do click the link up here to watch that video, or check in the description box to see other tutorials, to see the... What is wrong?